going through what you're going through with the loss of your dad, I found, and I know that Sona's been through so much lately, lost her home but I remember talking to you right after you lost your house in the fire, and you were saying like, I've got these Mikey and Charlie, and they need me present. They were kind of saving your ass because
definitely
you can't say to them, Mama's going to just be depressed and weirded out for 2 years. I'll see you then.
Yeah. I'm not going to be like, I'm in a bed just crying all day.
Yeah.
So, and then they're ready to continue on. And so you're ready to continue on.
Absolutely.
And it's like the best medicine.
It really is. And it like gets
like
you
Prozac.
Out of it. Totally. They're like little Prozacs.
Yeah, they are.
Little sweet Prozacs. But yeah, it's amazing. Even if you're in a bad mood, like a normal bad mood, and you go in and see your kids, like, unless you want to have them, when they're talking to their therapist or writing their memoir later, be like, mother was sad all the time. She took it all out on me. She would kick the dishwasher and then ignore me for 2 days. Like, we're not going to do that.
No.
We're like not those people. My best friend lives in Altadena. I'm so sorry you lost. That's like unbelievable. And watching her, she has a 6-year-old, and their house did not burn down. But they're totally displaced, and they have to live in the back house of a friend from school's house, and like it's actually turning out to be kind of a great situation for now. But what if she didn't have this little girl to like get to school and not be a husk of a human? Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I realize now because I had my kid kind of late, like how much time you just spend like wallowing in your own shit, and then you don't get to do that anymore, and it like rips you out of it. It's a wonderful thing. Is this the funniest episode of this?
Am I wrong that I love this episode?
Yeah, me too.
I mean, Eduardo is the line. You're the line judge on these things, but
this is right up my alley.
Because like this is, excuse us for having a conversation.
Oh, wow.
Chuckles over here.
I know.
If you want
the life of the party these days.
No, but what this is, I don't know, it's making me feel a lot better.
Yeah, it is kind of therapeutic.
It's really therapeutic.
I think everything feels very heavy right now.
For sure.
Even if you're not going through something, things just feel really heavy. It's okay to talk about it.
Yep.
Agreed. I think you have to. And it is like absorbing because I'm from LA. I just moved. Like we sold our house in December and gave the keys to the new owners on January 24th. So like right after the fires. And we were supposed to come back and pack up the house that we've lived in for 11 years and say goodbye to the house and have all these people over.
Where are you moving to?
New York, baby.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that just happened. And like take Alfie to Disneyland and do all this shit. And we couldn't come back because of the fires. And being in New York and watching it, this is my hometown, but I've like talked so much shit about LA and what it means and how it's changed and how it's gotten worse. And you're sensing a theme in my overall personality.
Yeah.
But
do you have more Prozac?
Yeah, I know, right? I got to up it to
it's time for
20
another one.
milligrams. Also, Prozac is new and will recommend, really. Like,
we can do an ad for them.
I'm like, obviously loud and proud about it. Maybe I'll regret this part of it.
No.
So watching it from afar was really strange, and seeing like my hometown go through this and feeling really separate. And I felt like this groundswell of love for LA, which hasn't gone away. And I think this city is amazing. I think Altadena specifically is amazing, like what they're doing. Yeah. And that was like the LA. I didn't grow up in Altadena, but I grew up like in the Miracle Mile. And it was much more that vibe than, let's say, the Palisades vibe, which is its own unimaginable, like, I don't even know, tragedy. But there's something about like the Angelenos who are from here, who aren't in the business, who just like have regular jobs, regular families, and like you're just doing it in LA. Like that was my upbringing. And I have so much love for this city. Mm-hmm. And it was really horrible to be away because all of us like in New York who are from LA kind of huddled together. Because you'd go into, when it was like actively happening or just kind of starting. I like went to get my hair cut. The guy's like, "How you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, not great." Like, LA's on fire. It's like, oh yeah. You know, when you're not from LA, when you don't live there, it's just like LA has fires. It's just like another thing that's happening somewhere else. And when it's your home, it's crazy. And so like my dad obviously passing away was brutal. And then I've stuck around for these couple weeks and feeling the sadness of LA has been really intense, but also everybody in New York's like, it reminds us of 9/11. Like people are really coming together and building each other up. And like the community, that was the main kind of complaint I had about LA. Like there's no community. And there so is. And I feel like an asshole for saying that.
I lived in New York when during 9/11, and one of my clearest memories is going out to dinner, and the waitress would come over, the wait person would come over and say, you know, would you guys like to start off with some drinks, or, you know, and we'd say, well, how are you? And then the person would end up sitting down at the table and we would all chat. And I remember thinking, this is this weird Eden that we're all living in, where all the old societal norms have gone out the window and people are really talking to each other. And if you ask the bartender, you ask whoever's, you ask the person in the store, how are you? Where do you live? How are you doing? And that happened in New York City. And then I remembered it going away. Like that's humanity just has this way of, if you hit a human being over the head with a big stick, he behaves himself for like 6 hours and then goes back to being whatever he was before. And I know that this too shall pass, but it's lovely while it's happening. And I'm noticing I just keep having these great conversations with, had to go to Sundance for something. And there was a woman who was driving me to the event in Utah, from Salt Lake to Sundance, and started chatting with her. And it turned out she lived in LA. And I said, well, how's your place? And she said, well, my place burned to the ground. And she's driving me.
Crazy. And
we just had this intense conversation. And I thought, well, this is kind of what it's supposed to be all the time.
Exactly.
Which is, how are you? What's going on in your life? Not drive me, driver.
Yeah.
Where are the Tic Tacs? Which is what I reverted to by the end of the drive.
Oh, you got back there.
Enough of your whining.
Yeah. Oh, your house. Where are my Tic Tacs?
Yeah, he's a spearmint. I wanted the fruity kind.
Sorry they burned in the fire, sir.
That's no excuse.
Oh, my God.
A burnt Tic Tac's the best one. So it's just perspective and empathy and all that kind of stuff isn't something you attain. It is a practice, and it goes away. And we all find ourselves drifting away from it, and then something happens and we get pulled back into it.
Yeah, I wonder, have you felt, because I'm nervous about that, just like how everybody was like showing up and flooding the GoFundMes or whatever. And like you're saying, like everything, people move on to the next thing eventually. This is going to be a long recovery.
Yeah.
Do you feel that it's still as intense?
No, I don't. I mean, I even asked if I would still get a discount somewhere, and they're like, oh, we stopped doing that a week ago.
That was really the sign, because when it first happened, you would walk into a store and tell people that you had lost your home, and they would give you this discount.
Like a 20% discount.
How long did that last? Was that 3 weeks?
That was like a few weeks. And then I went into a store, I'm not going to say which one, but I was like, hey, I lost my home in the fire. Do you guys have a discount? And they're like, oh, we stopped doing that a week ago.
If anything, there's a surcharge.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know.
The sad thing is when it was a 99-cent store.
I know.
I want this scrunchie. Do you have a discount, ma'am?
I know.
It's 50 cents.
I think that there's still people, there's still the empathy there. It's still there. There's still some feeling of it, but it is waning a lot. It is very quick how quickly people kind of just move on.
To be fair, I would often go to a McDonald's and tell them, or a Cheesecake Factory, and tell them I had lost my home in a fire, even when I hadn't.
But you did it. You're taking my discount.
I know. And they would be like, that sounds terrible. And I'd say, so this McFlurry, what are we talking about here? Can I get 80 cents on the dollar? And sometimes I'd put a little ash on my cheek.
Oh,
I did!
What?
I'm just telling you the real me. I always keep a little ash in your pocket.
God.
You can get a discount.
It's not like I had ash ever on my face.
Well, you fucked up.
Okay.
You'd be having a you'd be having a discount McFlurry right now. She had a little ash in your
Why
pocket.
didn't you work up your orphan angle
I
instead
tried
of the
that.
fire
Yeah.
one?
There seems to be this consensus that I'm too old,
Okay.
which I don't get because I think I'm very well preserved for a man my age. Gee, I lost my parents. Do you have any soup? Sir, I saw you drive up in a Porsche. Yeah, but I don't have
cash poor.
I'm cash poor.
Asset rich.
I
What can I do?
I have a lot of land in Montana in vast holdings, but I can't access it. Can I have some soup?
All my money's tied up in holdings.
It takes 24 hours to
liquid.
get the bank in Sweden to open up. All right. What's your name? Billy.
You're changing your name?
Yeah.
Billy does work better.
Yeah.
It's a better
Yeah.
name for me. Or what's the name you were thinking of naming your son but didn't because Tom?
Mickey.
That's a good one. Mickey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mickey the orphan. Mickey the 61-year-old orphan.
It counts.
Who's done quite well.
It counts. It's so fucking dark.
It really is.
I'm
isn't
sorry, but my parents would laugh at it.
Yeah.
I can say that now because they're not here.
Yeah.
They would laugh at that. Like them in the afterlife. No, we wouldn't. You asshole. We never liked you.